just, like, really doesn't make sense. Alright, nothing super exciting here. We're just gonna kind of classic mono blue people. If I recall correctly, this list is, like, one card off of the list that Autumn used to win the Pro Tour, or the Mythic Championship, or whatever we've rebranded that to be called. So, let's dive into some matches and see how it goes. I don't always put the tier 3 dealer's choice stuff in right away, Party Buzz, especially with the new set coming up in another week. I've been holding a lot of the dealer's choice points people have been throwing my way so I can add decks of my own ideas into the queue. Easy mulligan. Excellent Hearthstone hand. Unfortunately for Magic, we need some lands to play. Alright, here we go. The stream title doesn't always update for you when you're on mobile. No problem, Motrose. I appreciate the apology. So we're looking for an island here. So that way we can strap this this lad up here with a Curious Obsession whilst holding up Wizard's Retort. I think this matchup looks like they're playing Temur Reclamation. If I had to venture a guess, I would assume this matchup is decent for our deck, but if they have a fast Niv Mizzet, it's very bad. There's definitely, almost certainly a little bit of play to it. Yeah, the blue-red deck just really didn't withstand the test of time. It's just, like, not good enough against the current decks in the format. Spell Pierce is an excellent draw here. Being able to have 2 pieces of interaction this turn is great. It's possible that I should burn a Spell Pierce on something like that just because Spell Pierce will draw dead. And, like, stopping their draw makes it harder for them to get to something like Niv Mizzet consistently. Please inject the cards directly into my veins. Those are not the lands that I really wanted. I'm going to go ahead and end my turn. I'm going to go ahead and Spell Pierce here if they Chemister's Insight. For the reason I said last turn, not only do I have to discard now too, but I want to just go ahead and, like, try and keep them off of Niv Mizzet if possible. I think I needed them to miss on that for a turn. Now, I think I'd rather just get Trickster into play here. Yeah, Tuesdays are always a low viewer count. And Arena and Standard are at an all-time low right now just because of the current point we're at in the Standard cycle. We're probably dead here. Small chance we're able to play through this Niv Mizzet, but pretty unlikely. I don't think any of my decisions matter, Gendy, and we've lost. I think I cast my spell, they draw another card, they have Chemist's Insight, they have like random one of things, they're gonna kill my stuff and I'm gonna die. Don't think any of our choices really matter. I cast the dive down, they just like cast other spells in response and kill it. Like the Chemist's Insight lets them deal 3 damage at any given point at instant speed. Plus other random 1 mana cards that they could have. Deep Freeze is good against, what's it called? Niv Mizzet. Essence Capture is pretty bad here. There's notably, oh, we have 1 Disdainful Stroke. Okay. Chart, of course, is probably a little slow. Definitely want the full suite of negates. I wonder if I can afford to cut creatures in this matchup. I probably can't. Yeah, this deck only plays 17 creatures. I wonder if it's nuts to cut some copies of Curious Obsession just because they have so much cheap removal. I think I'm going to trim 2 of these, the last couple cards that go. It's fine. Not amazing, but fine. To get down a couple of Dorkers and hide behind some counterspells. Gunner's Dream, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I led on Pteramander there as opposed to Siren Stormtamer because, what's the word that I'm searching for? I'd much rather this die first because this survives through, what's it called? It survives through Fiery Cannonade. Yeah, I mean that's how Twitch works, Otros. Is if the removal is damage based, is Surge Mare reasonable? So like the problem is that like in order for Surge Mare to deal damage, you have to pump mana into it constantly, and you have to reduce its toughness in order for it to deal damage, which makes it less appealing. Nah, traveling for paper events is just really, it's really expensive. It's expensive in both the amount of money it costs me directly and the amount of opportunity it costs in terms of not streaming is huge. Like as a small example, I took like 3.5 days off over the weekend, right? And like in the 3.5 days I took off over the weekend, you know, that was, you know, it's 10% of a month. So I lost like 15% of my subscribers during that 3.5 day break. Cast Niv so I can concede, please. At this point, I've decided it's only worth it to play meme decks until the new set drops. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Frumbles. I might do some double... I might do some double Modern Days before the end of it, too. We're going to do a few all Modern Days next week, but we got a few standard decks in the queue, but, like, as the viewer count right now shows, standard content's, like, at an all-time super low, just because people are ready for the new set at this point, so... I think I'm gonna dial it back a little bit till next week when we get back. And this is one of the dangers of cutting Curious Obsession, right? Is like I trimmed Obsession because I expect them to have a lot of removal, but now like I'm just running out of gas. Been a slow descent into madness today. You know, every time I play this mono blue deck, I become more impressed with the people that have done well with it at major tournaments, because it always feels underwhelming when I play it. Which, based on the amount of results it's had, I must just be doing something fundamentally wrong, but just like every time I play it, I'm like, man, this deck does not seem good. So, both Trickster and Wizard's Retort make playing Curious Obsession here bad, so I'm going to go ahead and not do that. I'm going to try and just hit some land drops here the next couple of turns. Yep. That's true. I mean, this deck definitely has some just, like, unbeatable draws, right? Like, when you strap up a Curious Obsession and just protect the thing, you run people down. Hoping to draw a third land here. Curious Obsession ends up being a slightly worse up when it fails. Yeah, that makes sense, Saga. Trim up, because it's just kind of filler. Can see that being reasonable. Seems like solid advice. Alright, there's the Tempest Djinn. So I have Curious Obsession, so I do get to start racing here. I can start drawing cards, I guess, but we might actually be losing the race to this Giant Djinn. Just like have a Spell Pierce and I get destroyed. Alright, no Pierce gives us a chance. We're out of luck today. We might be. I really wish, some days I just like, man, can we just like split up the good decks a little bit? Because like, yesterday we played 4 standard decks and all of them were like excellent. And so far today's been real middling. Although the last 2 decks today, I have some hope for. The last 2 decks today were built around submissions that both seem like they're pretty reasonable. Hey, Suskine, thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate the quarter of year. Welcome back. Do we burn the dive downs to fuel our yard? Yeah, I think so, actually. In fact, I think I'm going to block and try and dive down to protect my thing. I get kind of blown out here if they have, like, a main deck Entrancing Melody like these decks often play, but it's a Pteramander of their own. We're probably dead. Yeah, these were super dead. Having the mana advantage seems really important in the mirror. I'm supposed to board in Deep Freeze. I feel like I could see this card being okay. Do you prefer Green-Red Domri or Team Red Domri based on yesterday's game? If I was expecting to play against Sultai, I definitely prefer Green-Red Domri. I think Team Red Domri is pretty unwinnable against Sultai, and the Green-Red felt like it had some play there. What am I supposed to trim? I just trim the ops as filler. This hand is lands and spells. I don't know if they're very good lands or spells, but... well, the lands are just lands. Not a whole lot to say there. Yeah, definitely. Tempest Djinn definitely feels like one of the most important cards in the mirror. With, what's it called? Being important for a similar reason. The Pteramander. Alright, Retort's good. Gives me a clean answer to a Tempest Djinn. Why not let them attack first? You can eat it with the Trickster because it leaves flying. Because I'm stupid. Now, I think getting a dive down used there is fine. I think if my opponent used a dive down, I'd be okay with that. So, if I Entrancing Melody the Siren Stormtamer with the Curious Obsession, they draw cards when I hit them with it, right? Is how this would work. No, it wouldn't, because I control the creature. It puts the text on the creature. The creature gains the ability. Got it. The text goes on the creature. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah. Good old Magic Arena. The trigger is on the Stormtamer. Got it. Yoink. Oh, it's still their obsession. So next turn, they won't attack, so it'll fall off because they're not attacking. Got it. Got it. And now they've played Tempest Djinn and we're dead. Melody. Equipment's like swords, did what you said. Good to know I'm not completely crazy. Alright. Inject the cards directly into my veins. So you're saying there's a chance. Alright. That's all I need, chat. All I need is a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, one last shot. Chance to roll. This opportunity gets negated and retorted. Just gonna dive down their own thing, yep. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. I mean, they technically didn't counter our spell. It's, you know, they did what we asked. It's a whole new definition to the idea of bumpin' uglies. Looking for Deep Freeze or Entrancing Melody or another dive down here. Oh, yikes, they have another Djinn. Drawing a Djinn of our own would also be decent. Yikes! Yikes. Nah, I'm just playing the deck list that I was asked to play dirty in, and then we're gonna die a couple of times, and then we'll move on to some sweet mid-range and control decks. I want to reinforce my worldview that this deck seems mediocre. Alright, we have the things. We have the things! We drew a Tempest Djinn. That's a good start, right? Oh, they don't have a land. That's good for us. Do I play around main deck Baffling End? Nah. Let's draw some cards. I guess they could draw a land and Conclave Tribunal me here, too. One drop. Well, you've got huge tracts of land, and our opponent does not. So this might be one of the games where Flood beats Screw because we're drawing 3 cards a turn. Tithe Taker, that is incredibly rude. Yikes. Alright, we hit Tricky Dick. You know, we're winning this race by a pretty significant margin at the moment, so I think I just pass and hold up Pierce/Retort. Yeah, next turn, I'll Melody the Tithe Taker and still be able to hold up Spell Pierce. I think I want to just Spell Pierce here. Keep the Retort for later. Alright, they stumbled long enough that we were able to capitalize there, which was nice. Pretty sure we bring in Surge Mare in this matchup just as an 0-5 blocker. Essence Capture seems good. Melody seems great. I don't want Negate. I think I don't want Spell Pierce. You could Trickster the Tithe and then Pierce for 1. Oh, that's true. That's a good line. Yeah, it gets the Trickster into play too. It's a good catch. Because Trickster wipes the text off of it. Is it crazy to just trim some counterspells in this matchup, like Wizard's Retort? I guess Retort's probably better than Essence Capture, huh? Because this stops the removal too. This makes my creatures bigger though, which is not irrelevant either. Like even just cranking this up to a 1/6 seems like a pretty big deal. So I wanted to trim more of these. Which do I trim? You can maybe argue that Dive Down could go too. Essence Capture can brick a Pteramander. Well, you can just choose not to put the counter on the Pteramander. Putting the counter on is optional. I'm gonna do this and just trim around the edges. The whole spoiler season's been great. This set's got a lot of both unique and powerful cards in it. Allow me to sing you the song of my people. The thing that made me settle on 19 lands is that's how many lands the people who are smarter than me have been playing in this deck. So when I copy and pasted the deck list from the people who are smarter than me, that's how many lands they decided to play. I'm gonna Melody this token here. It prevents them from flipping the landing next turn. I think I'm gonna get defensive on the blocks here too. Just got married, going to Japan. Good to see some magic before I go. Bumping Living Twister to hope it gets played as well. Well, thank you, Bear Senior. I appreciate that. Thanks for the support, and congrats on getting married. Would love to get that one bumped up. And I think I'm again going to use this Melody aggressively. Just like keep them from flipping this Legion's Landing. They missed a land drop. So I think I'm just gonna Melody their Sky Marcher. Let's give it to me, please. And I think at this point I'm gonna start getting in with Scary Terry. Because with all these other things in my hand, he's not that far away from popping off. I think I want to trade here. Huh. That's interesting. So, like, I really want to land, but this gives me, like, more looks, and it gives me more instants and sorcerers in here for Scary Terry. It's like I'm up to 4 in here now, right? Do I want to hold up Essence Capture this turn? I think I do. I guess I could just go, like, Mist-Cloaked plus Siren Stormtamer, though. Yeah, maybe I just want to do that. Like, go wide. Not burning the Entrancing Melody does mean this Legion's Landing gets to flip, which kind of sucks. And, like, if they're flipping this, it kind of means that maybe I do want to hold up Essence Capture because, like, gives them the 3rd mana. They're going to Elephant. Maybe. I don't know. I think they're going to flip the Legion's Landing. Do I want to deal 4 to them? I kind of think I do. Thanks for all the wonderful content. Educational and entertaining. Well, thank you for the 4 months, Mana Symbol. It's good to have you here. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Well, there goes that, friendo. Alright, here's the Surge Mare. That locks down a Danto at least. Yikes. I guess I get to protect with the Siren Stormtamer, huh? I guess I'm just passing here. Hopefully they have an elephant or a marshal here. So, I didn't Melody pre-combat, because if I Melody pre-combat, they just get to block with this for free, whereas if I attack first here, they block and pay for life, or they take the damage, and that's better for me. Yeah, it caused them to deal damage, right? And they don't get to block this for free with the 0-3 pre-combat without the Entrancing Melody, because this way I could threaten to activate it. Tempest Djinn's a very good draw. You know, the more I play this deck, and especially like that mirror match that we just played, playing against this deck, I always felt like Curious Perception was the most important card, but playing with it, it really feels like Tempest Djinn is actually the most important piece of the puzzle. They're probably both going to take 4 here, which makes the Tempest Djinn even better, right? Because they went to 6. So this actually means because they did that, an island is lethal next turn. And like that kind of takeaway of like Curious Obsession feels like the best card on the other side, but when I'm over here, Tempest Djinn actually feels like the most key thing. Like even if you don't think Mono Blue is a deck you want to play personally, being able to glean insights like that of which cards are actually most important to prioritize makes you better at playing against these decks if you have experience playing with them. So like even if you don't want to play a given meta deck at a tournament, especially if you have the wild cards to put it together on Arena, like giving it a try just to figure out what really makes the gears turn can be very valuable. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. Next week, with the release of War of the Spark and Arena, we're kicking things into high gear again. Thanks, everybody, for dropping in. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch, and I appreciate you spending your day here with us. As always, I'd like to give a shout-out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day and day without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. Nerd Rage Gaming is a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, you can also find streaming coverage as well for them at twitch.tv/NRG series. BCW Supplies are the makers of these wonderful sleeves here of these cards that you often hear me flicking around on stream. They do sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories. Using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com, you can save 10% on all of your purchases there with them. Neo provides wonderful candy-flavored protein bars. Using code Hoagland at bit.ly/sugarbar, you can save 10% on your orders with them. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out to Hoaglandia. Thanks for dropping in today. We are heading on into our next match here with Mono Blue Tempo. Seeing how things go. I mean, a proxy gauntlet for Modern, playing Titan, playing Jeskai, or Blue-White, playing Dredge really gives you an appreciation for exactly what those decks are doing from across the table. It's easier to play around things when you understand what the play patterns look like from both sides. Yep. I would like to see comparison of games where Jim was / was not played in win percentages, but data is evil. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the folks that make one of the Hearthstone deck trackers are working on one for Arena, and hopefully metrics like that are something that we'll start to gain access to. 1 mana creature here was the best draw in our deck, obviously, because we have Dive Down and Obsession, along with these ups. Guildgate on 1 could mean a few different things. Looks like it means the Stompy deck. Becomes a target of a spell, sacrifice it. So I technically could have killed their thing with Curious Obsession. Morning, right, cat? The beard's looking awesome. Exurg, thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. Welcome back, and thanks for the quarter of a year. Yeah, the beard, this is like, I think this is the first time ever I've let my beard get this long. It's definitely a little poofy. Captain Corf, thanks for the 4 months. What decks do you think will be most played at the upcoming PT? All the good modern decks. Wish I had more insight than that. Which decks are good in modern? Phoenix, Dredge, all the ones. The Mythic Championship, especially in a well-established format like this modern format, isn't going to be that different than like an SCG tournament or a Grand Prix. In terms of like what people are playing. Our main deck copy of Entrancing Melody. Hopefully we can live long enough to leverage that. Yes, they added full art cards to it, right? It has been a hot second since you've been here. I do actually, so to step out on a limb here, I think if Amulet is actually the busted deck that all the Amulet players say it is, I think there is a chance we see more Amulet than we've otherwise seen at normal tournaments. That would be one deck that I would expect to have a higher representation of at the Pro Tour. But other than that, I think in general, what we've had is what you're gonna get. I think we might be dead, chat. I think we might be dead. I suppose I can hit a Tempest Djinn here, and then Tempest Djinn blocks here, and then lives with Dive Down, and this chumps here. But this deckhand is also just like sitting there making their stuff unblockable. I guess I just spend this Melody as a bad removal spell. Yeah, I mean, Nullhide Ferox is just an incredibly powerful card that's really felt like it hasn't had a good home. So it's kind of sweet to see it come into one in this deck. Galta's also not bad. And I assume they're just going to bring in a pile of Harpooners post-board. No, Capture's only a creature you control. Alright. Capture, Stroke, Surge Mare, Deep Freeze, maybe Melody. I think I want this land. All these Spell Pierce can get out of my deck. This Negate can get out of my deck. This Chart of Course can get out of my deck. How many Dive Downs do I want to keep? Am I expecting a bunch of Harpooners is the question. Should have saved the Melody for their 2-mana 12/12. Obs. Maybe I don't want all the Melodies. Yeah, maybe this is actually not good enough. This is probably slow. Dive Down is creature you control, right? Yeah, Dive Down is creature you control, so it does not kill the spirit. Now, I think Herald's a card I want to keep here. I think it plows through. I guess this is unblockable too. Alright, yeah, I guess this is basically unblockable in this matchup. Alright, that much from one Optus filler. Let's see how this goes. So, I don't even think cards like Dive Down saying creature you control is WotC idiot-proofing the spells, so much as it's them doing small things to streamline Magic Arena. So, for example, if you cast a Dive Down on Arena and you only have one creature, you, like, drag it out of your hand, you don't have to click on your one creature, right? It just, like, auto-targets the only thing. I definitely think a lot of things like that are them trying to streamline how many things you're clicking on in this interface, more so than trying to, like, dumb down the game. And while you're right, it does remove some really small corner case strategy, it ultimately is probably a good thing. This hand's gonna be absurd. Surge Mare with Curious Obsession is busted, but it's unblockable. This thing's gonna redraw 3, discard 1 every turn. I agree, Evan. I agree with you that designing to make the game play faster is ideal. Yep, yeah, this is also a play that doesn't get messed up by Harpooner, which is a big deal. Auto order trigger abilities is off, right? Yep. I think I'm gonna strap my obsessions up this turn. Just head to Pound Town here. So I want to discard. I want to draw a discard last, because I want the most cards in my hand before I have to start making that decision. Well then. I'm gonna go ahead and just use my mana and play Scary Terry out here. It means they can Harpooner me, but if they Harpooner me, then they're not doing something else, which is fine. Alright, 3 more draws at a land, huh? Whew. Alright. We're looking a little dicey there for a second. I think this is a Tricky Dick plus Wizard's Retort turn. You get to Diddle, Steel Leaf Champion, and then counter whatever their play is. Maybe I should have attacked with Pteramander. Yeah, I probably should have attacked with Pteramander there. I mean, 3 was better than 0, to be fair. The rest of my hand is very reasonable. This is a close game. We're not quite ahead on board yet, but we're close. The Shuffler is listing, but it's no sense of proportions. Wanted to land, Hogland, eh? Get him. I'm like, they can probably conclude that I have a counterspell of some sort because I discarded a Wizard's Retort earlier. Now, unfortunately, I have to just take my lick for 5 here because if I block with the Merfolk Trickster, I no longer have Wizard's Retort up. Frilled Mystic's a good point. Yeah, maybe I should have diddled this on their upkeep. I think there's a chance here right there. Deep Freeze is a decent pickup here. I think that just means I pivot, right? Does it? Nah, I think I'm losing this race over here, huh? I think I should have attacked with this last turn, though. think I missed a couple points of damage with this. And, like, maybe if I was a couple points of damage up, I could have pivoted better. Huh. Does that dive down draw? I think that means I just put my stuff into play and pass here. I think this means I'm probably going to successfully be able to pivot. Resolves. Swing low, sweet Tempest Djinn, come along to carry me home. Swing low, sweet Tempest Djinn. Do 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 do. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 instants of sorceries in here. Departed deckhand tier, notably able to block the Surge Mare. And if I attack with both of these, they have to block at least one. Lethal with Terry. No, they have a reach creature in play. They have to block, because I can give this +4 power by activating it. I can pay 2 to give it +2/-2. So it's like, do they want to lose their deckhand, or do they want to let me draw 3 cards? Deal. You're made, Yugi boy. This is all we get. Gosh, Tempest Djinn is good. That's the real key. Tempest Djinn is a rare that feels like an uncommon but plays like a mythic. Lol. Oh. Listen, I only spend money on the cards people send me money. People pay me to spend money on, okay? This is just like no blocks, right? This is not lethal and we kill them on the backswing. What are the combinations of cards that kill me here? Nothing? I'm gonna go with nothing. No blocks. The only point of life that matters is the last one. Surprise, Titanic Growth. Yeah, they would have had to have, like, Titanic Growth plus Spell Pierce, right? Because I have the Wizard's Retort. I might have blocked there if I didn't have The Wizard's Retort. Unless it's a tournament with elimination and timed rounds. Ain't that the truth? What foils are available for this deck? At the very least, there's a Tempest Djinn foil available. I'd have to look. There's a lot of cards in this deck that aren't played in other decks. So, like, all of the, like, standard staples that have a lot of overlap that we've played a bunch of, people have pretty much donated for us to see. This probably isn't good enough, right? Like, 4 lands is a lot, and, like, the spells I have aren't amazing. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. This is, like, reasonable. Like, Deep Freeze is a removal spell. Poor shirtless Jace. I think I'm gonna dig for a Curious Obsession here. Or more instants and sorceries. Sure. I feel like if they had a Kroll Harpooner, they probably would have played it last turn, so... I assume they're just gonna play, like, a 5/4 here that will Deep Freeze. I think this draw means I wait. Deep Freeze is basically a mono blue removal spell. It's a card that effectively gets rid of one of their creatures. Justin C, thanks for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If I essence... Oh, crap. Well, I had intended to Merfolk Trickster there. I had intended to Merfolk Trickster there. Yeah, they could be holding up Frilled Mistake. If they give me something that Essence Capture, I'm going to put it on Siren Stormtamer, so hopefully I can pop this down the line. Like, there's one instant and sorcery in here already. Sure. All right, let's not mess this up this time. I think we're actually in a pretty good spot now. So, like, this diddles this. I have 5 power. I get to Deep Freeze this, and I have Wizard's Retort up next turn. Oh, and Disdainful Stroke. I'm feeling pretty good at this point. This should strand a Galta in their hand if they have it. They have another threat here, we could be in trouble. Yeah. Might be dead now. Might be dead now. They needed exactly that. They needed 2 mana play into a good 4 mana play. I guess the 5/4 would have also been good for them there. Trickster was a good draw for us, though. Agger, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, Tricky Dick here means that if they get too aggressive here, I could potentially kill them. So I think what we do here is if they attack with everything, we Merfolk Trickster, chump the Nullhide, and then I can Trickster tap this attack for lethal. I have Disdainful Stroke as well. So I think there's a series of draws here that get us there. Oh, Pteramander is active. Yeah, Pteramander's active. I forgot Terry was active already. I thought I was 1 short on Terry. He's definitely lit up. Okay. So they need another Crawl Harpooner here. Oh, no, wait, there's 2 in here. Crap! Oh, I just fucked up. I just punted on board. I thought there was only 1. Alright, well, that was a game that was unlosable, and I managed to lose it. Yikes. Yep. Alright, well, Mono Blue would have won this game. All I had to do was sacrifice this and then fart the thing and kill them. We don't gain any value from Trickstering the Nullhide Sizzle. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, on to the next one. That's fine. We just hit the diamond 2 rank floor as our freebie. I sub to listen to you eat. Well, unfortunately, I don't let you listen to me eat on this channel. So, if that's your kink, you're not going to get it here, unfortunately. Brave Earth, checking in for the 4th month. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright. Chart of course and Negate out. I think Spell Pierce comes out here. Some Retort. Some Retort could be okay to trim. And then Opt as filler, maybe. I think that's what we did last time. I think I trimmed a Mist-Cloaked Herald and then an Opt as filler. This seems fine. Can I listen for 2 cents? You cannot. If you would like to listen to someone chew, I bet if you pull up YouTube, you could find that and then play YouTube and me simultaneously. Where's the ASMR mukbang donation button? Yikes. I think this seems reasonable. His hand has lands and spells, but the spells don't really accomplish anything, right? Like, we don't really have a game plan here. I just don't, like, play a 1-1 and flop around. This 6 is, like, okay. It's got some defense. It's got a pseudo removal spell. It's got a counter spell. Huh? I think I'm supposed to keep that. His hand, like, desperately needs a third land, but, like, I think this is just the best card in the matchup. It's the best card in most matchups, I think. I think I just yoinked this to keep history, or keep this from flipping over next turn. Yikes. We are certainly about to get a history lesson. Woof, that's another night for next turn. Any reason not attack with the 2-2? Nope, should have attacked with the 2-2. That's a good catch. No, I cast Tempest Djinn last turn. So, it was there and ready. I guess I just do this, huh? Now we're not attacking with it because they have a 3-3. Defense. Defense. If we draw, like, Running and Transient Melodies here, we might have a shot. Save us, Wall of Mist, right? That is as aggressive as it gets. If they make this attack, they hit me for 7. And this eats this trades here, these bump here, I take 4-7. We're actually not in a terrible spot at the moment. Now, if they had the Indestructible spell, they would have slammed it pre-combat. Makes their attacks way better. I think I want to trade the Knight. I guess the fact that... I have 2 2-mana spells in my hand makes playing the dive down here more appealing. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. I think I'd rather trade the dive down. I think the fact that, like, I'm gonna have 2 2-mana spells available to me next turn makes using the dive down really appealing here. They have an Elefante. God, that's brutal. It's a really good last card to have. Cast a creature. Cast a creature. God bless us, everyone. All right. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Stay alive. Stay alive. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Stay alive. Doo-doo-doo. I assume they're going to smash face here. What match is this? We've been playing this deck for about 45 minutes. We probably got one or two more after this one. Next to the entry for treading water in the dictionary is a picture of this board state. Yep. Yeah, I mean, if they hadn't had the elephant last turn, we'd have been in a really good spot. Although, honestly, the way this is played out, the fact that they played Marshall there as opposed to just making a 1/1 really worked out for us. This card's really good. Part of me just wants to play this. Another part of me wants it to hang out for a little bit. I mean, I'm like, they're winning, right? Like, I feel like they should just be passing here and activating this first fort, right? Like, I'm not adding anything to the table each turn, and they are, so they're getting ahead and I'm getting behind. Have you considered instead not doing that? Stormtamer seems fine to swing with. Yeah, maybe. Is it crazy to try and race with the Tempest Djinn? Yeah, probably. Probably firmly on the camp of crazy. If I tricky dick a Sentry, it loses its extra attack, right? That's how that works? If I do this, I take 9 and go to 1. But I kill this, I kill this. I kill this. The problem is with like a Danto first fort in play, going to 1 is like really loose. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It might be better to double block a 3/3. This puts me to 4, which gives me a little bit more breathing room. Yeah, I think that's the play. And, like, I'm really hoping for, like, another Djinn or a Curious Obsession at this point. Or 3. It puts me to 3. Yeah, I miscounted. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers, and they have 5, 6, 7 attackers. Curious Obsession would give me the ability to kind of like punch ahead here, which is what I'm missing. Like they're getting a little bit ahead with this first fort every turn, and I'm not. It's like every turn the board's getting guaranteed better for them, and it's just like staying the same for me, which means I'm falling behind. Okay. Alright. It's a solid bit of get ahead. A few more like that, we'll be good to go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers or blockers. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 attackers. It means they're trying the indestructible spell guaranteed because you don't have mana up. That is definitely how this works. So, as someone who's been here before, that is how this is known to work. Uh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so I'm not dead on board. They can put me to 1. And putting me to 1 lets me kill a lot of their creatures. They probably don't want to do that. But it does mean I'm dead the next turn to just an Adanto first fort activation. So, like, really hoping to draw Entrancing Melody. Curious Obsession into Entrancing Melody would be my best sequence of draws, I think. Dive down, yep. There's a comeback in the deck. Yeah, Tempest Djinn would have been a good draw here. Because, like, Tempest Djinn would have, like, basically given me lethal on board, right? Yep. 3/1/1s we can't block. Yeah, so the comeback mechanic there was hitting our bombs. Or, like, hitting another comeback mechanic, and this is something that I think enough people don't consider that, like, is this deck's primary comeback mechanic, is, while we don't have any extremely highly impactful cards individually, with Curious Obsession in our deck, we're able to draw just multiple weaker cards per turn, and we kind of come back by just, like, quantity of cards, as opposed to one big swingy card. You know, we don't have, like, you know, a Teferi or something like that, but we do have a card that, like, provides us a steady stream instead of just being individually powerful. This hand's actually absurd. It's got the creature Curious Obsession dive down, and it's got double Tempest Djinn, which is one of our best cards in this matchup. We've got both of the best parts of our deck here. If you lose complete control, you're pretty done. I disagree with that mana symbol. Like, did you not watch that game we just played? Like, I think that last game was such a fantastic example of, like, the staying power this deck has as we go into the mid to late game. In fact, if we'd have just, like, had a second Tempest Djinn in our top whatever cards, I think we would have been very far ahead there. Well, sure, your deck that wants to play a bunch of creatures is going to be in trouble when it doesn't have any creatures in play. I agree with that. Would really like to draw a 1-mana creature here, or a Essence Capture. Alright, 2 lands, you know. That's similar to what I asked for. I think we're actually still okay here, sort of like hit them for 3 and like Tempest Djinn next turn and be okay. Yeah, I agree with that, Panza. It is definitely the best Feel Smart deck in the format. Tithe Taker kind of does a number on us here. Just have to put the shields down here, unfortunately. I'd say they might not even care about this at this point, because they're just racing us. Entrancing Melody would have been good last turn. I don't think I have any outs at this point. I have to deal with 3 things. So I'm at 4. Yeah, I can put 2 things into play here, but it's just not good enough. Yeah, Trickster wasn't out, wasn't it? If we drew Trickster, no, I would have needed to draw Trickster plus something else, right? Yeah. It was very, very close. The Tithe Taker gave them that extra little oomph up over the top that they needed to plow through there. So close game 2. I don't really know if there's anything I could do in that game 3. Just had way too many lands and not enough play to it. If they hadn't had the Tithe Taker, we would have been able to play through the volume of lands that we had, but they did, so there really wasn't anything. Any play to it. Alright, I mean, that's the stuff. Entrancing Melody doesn't untap their creature. All of their creatures were tap chat. That's why, if you notice, when I drew the Melody, I mentioned that would have been good the previous turn when they had an untapped threat. On the stacks. Thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. You're having a fantastic start to your week. Might have been a little bit aggressive use of my Spell Pierce there, but I did want to use my mana, and like Spell Pierce is a card that like draws dead at some point, so I think using it aggressively is right here. It might have been wrong to Spell Pierce, if only because I have the Opt, just because the Opt was gonna let me use my mana guaranteed. I'm a pretty good mix of disruption and pressure this game though. Feeling like we're in a good spot. Sure. Would we beat Twitch chat if we didn't overlook key details when suggesting this slide? That's true. That's true. That is a defining feature of Twitch chat. Yeah, the growth spiral like makes your ramp dead quicker as well, which is relevant. 1 Wizard's Retort, please. Old Tricky Dick. All right. Yikes! Please be dead. Please be dead. Please be dead. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Spin them tires, baby. Spin them right round, baby, right round. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. A lot of the Temur Reclamation decks actually don't play Nexus of Fate. They are primarily, what's it called? The Expansion Explosion decks. Under the sea, do 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 do. Oh, the internet definitely ruined that song for basically an entire generation. Oh, the internet. Quite terrible. Third month, help, XM. Thanks for the quarter of a year, welcome back. Hope you're having a good start to your week. I'm gonna trim a couple of opt here. I could see Surge Mare being good here. We talked about that last time. I'm just not sure. It's definitely a great target for Curious Obsession in this matchup. I just like bring in a couple. See how it feels. Maybe it's actually great. Can you explain when you do or don't cut lands? I am not a mono blue expert, so I'm not gonna pretend to like feed you a bunch of shtick that I'm not certain of. So the idea I would imagine of the extra land in the sideboard is it's there when you board in more expensive spells. So like I've been boarding in the 20th land whenever we board in the copies of Entrancing Melody. That's the logic I've been going on, but I'm not 100% sure. When does Jace come in? When I figure it out, you'll be the first to know. Alright, so we're hoping to draw an island here so we can Curious Obsession with Negate up. I guess I get to Obsession now with Siren Stormtamer up, which is not unreasonable. Games, thanks for the 7-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. There is a Tempest Djinn foil. We have a Negate here. They have like a Negate or a Spell Pierce, and to untap kill my thing. We could be in a little bit of trouble. Esper Control, that makes sense. This is my horse. My horse is amazing. Do 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 do. Stop it. All right, I guess I get. Wait. Oh, I already played my third land for my land for the turn. Yikes. I forgot I had already played a land for the turn. I was thinking I was going to get to hold up Spell Pierce there, but alas, we were not. I think I just want to hold up counter spells this turn. The clock is a lot faster with this in play. Autumn's have board down or out all the Tempest Djinns against Wilderness Reclamation. That seems strange. They're the expert, but I don't know, maybe all the Surge Mares come in then? Yeah, I mean, I guess Djinn is slow, but like this isn't like mono red, right? Like, I'm not killing them by turn 4. I feel like most of the games I'm winning are going long, right? Also, Surge Mare's been the Stone Cold Nuts, so maybe all 3 of those should be my deck. Maybe I go to 3 Surge Mares, 3 Djinn. That doesn't seem unreasonable. Surge Mare with Curious Obsession on it is not fair. Like here with Tempest Djinn, right? We get to close the game out absurdly fast now. Now, I don't think you want to cut Trickster either. Trickster, just as like a 2/2 flash for 2 is very valuable. Gives you a lot of sequencing flexibility. Do I boost the Mare? I don't think so. It's a 2-turn clock, regardless of if I boost the Mare. So I think I'd rather just leave myself the ability to hold up a 3rd counterspell if I drew it there. The fact that my opponent's only on 1 red source here is relevant because it means they don't have the ability to untap and play Niv Mizzet. Alright, let's play one more with this one. I have an okay-ish match record. One of the matches I miscounted my opponent's Curl Harpooner and lost because of it though. So it'd be a little bit better if I had played slightly better. I don't know, Tuber. Maybe. I generally don't start building decks until we have a full spoiler. It's just like, people wanted to start building the Black-White Priest deck, like, when they spoiled the Blood Artist card. And it's like, well, then they spoiled Bantu, and like, maybe this card goes in. And like, maybe there's 1 or 2 more cards they spoil that this archetype wants. So it's like, you just like, I know it's super exciting to like get thinking about new ideas for the new cards, but like, you're just gonna like be spending a bunch of wasted effort if you like build decks before you have the full picture of what's going on. I think I'm gonna trade aggressively here. Yeah, blue-red Jaya is not pretty. The deck's not very good. I guess I'll opt now because I can do a 1-drop. How's it going, Flying? Thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Elefante. Nope. Marshall. I think we're dead. Let's get our entrancing melodies in here. And my horsies. Third time we played this matchup, having a bout down to a science. Maybe this Charter Course is supposed to stay just for like capturing a massive cards. Yeah, unless a card explicitly says you can choose the same mode twice, you cannot choose the same mode twice. This hand's pretty good. I get to go, hopefully we go Scary Terry into Capture Your Tithe Taker or 1-drop on 2 into Tempest Djinn on 3, just run you down. It might be right to capture this because their follow-up play here could have been... Their follow-up play here could have been the enchantment. Did I not attack here? Why didn't I attack? Because I clicked through it. Got it. I guess I'm supposed to wait on that. It's like my only resource and I have the dive down. This is like the punish for waiting, right? Like now I have to wait 2 turns. So like, do I keep waiting now? And I guess the other line of thinking too is like, if I'm waiting on this, do I actually just like hold the essence capture for a turn then? Terry's like really far from being a 5/5. Like really, really far from being a 5/5. So I think it's right to put the counter on him because he's so far away from being a 5/5. Is a land lethal next turn? Be 5, 6 is 11, 13. Remember that time I missed an attack for 1? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers. We're definitely ahead. Land is lethal if you use dive down this turn. No, it's not. That's what I just counted. So if I draw a land, this is 6, this is 5, that's 11, and this is 13. Am I dead next turn? I have to block 2 things next turn, right? If I block, like, here, this is 8, 13. I think I'm supposed to Curious Obsession the Tempest Djinn. And hope to draw a creature. I think is the line. Actually, I don't even have to draw a creature, right? So I can just go chump block plus block. If they have, if they can enable the city's blessing, which they probably can, I need to draw a creature. What if they have Beneficial in hand? Do I have any lines to play around a Beneficial in hand? Like, that's one of the things you have to learn when you're playing is, like, there's going to be things you just can't beat. And if you can't beat them, don't bother playing around them. So, I can't really play to beat extra things, so don't worry about extra things. So, not beating the City's Blessing, not beating Beneficial Marshal. So like History of Benalia is lethal here, double 1-drops lethal, another Marshal's lethal. So we're hoping they have like Elephants and Tithe Takers and Baffling End. Hopefully their hand's like 3 2-drops here. Even a land plus a 2-drop is lethal for us. Like there's a lot of things that kill us here. But like, don't spend time worrying about things you ultimately can't beat anyways. I guess this technically isn't lethal if they attack with everything, right? So I go, this blocks here, I dive down this, it survives, I take 13, I go to 1, I kill them on the backswing. I was wrong, we could beat History of Benalia. One is not none. One is not none. One is not none. One is not none. Pimped up Monk with the 24-month resubscription. Thanks for the 2 years. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around. Hope you're having a fantabulous Tuesday. Enjoy the horsey. Hey, today, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. I think this hand is fine. This hand is a bit soft if their turn 3 play is History of Benalia, but if their turn 3 play involves creatures, we're in a good spot. That is, unless they play Tithe Taker on turn 2, so definitely some things that could go wrong here. Just a Baffling End, yep. And this is fine for me. Hopefully they make a play that gets Essence captured on 2, or on 3. And if they don't make a play that gets Essence captured, Tricky Dick gets to eat their 1/1 if it attacks, which is nice. Yep, History of Benalia is not a great scene for us. Please attack me, please attack me, please attack me. Am I doing this? I think I'm doing this because I want a creature in play. I want a creature in play that I can Essence capture onto this turn. Because I have double Dive Down in hand and the 4th land lined up, I'm going to wait on the Tempest Djinn so I can protect it when it comes down. Stop it. Alright. So, you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. Hoping to fade double removal here. And like the fact that they did this now is a little greedy because it means this is a 4/7 now. They get to block these 4/3s profitably. Elefante, huh? Scary Terry. I think I just Terry and pass here. And plan to strap this up with Obsession next turn. I think is the plan. Just leave Tempest Djinn on defense. Yep. 2 instants and sorceries in here. Yep. It's a little aggressive on my part, but I think it's correct. We have another elephant. Good lord. Entrancing Melody. Huh? We have a game, as they say. That one. Would like to play this. That means these will be 5/5s next turn. They have Conclave Tribunal. God, that's so brutal. I just wanted to get ahead. So do I take their knight? Taking the knight is actually worse in the event, or trading with the knight is worse in the event that I draw. In the event that I draw an entrancing melody. I also kind of want to not throw. I think I might just go to 7 here, because like Pteramander's going to be a 5/5 next turn. Nah, I think I'm probably supposed to trade. Yeah, trading with Elephant is probably smart. It keeps my health total higher. Because, like, even if I have a 5/5, if I, like, take 12 this turn, my opponent's just going to smack me the next turn. Alright, I'm going to attack with this. If they want to trade 4/4s, that's fine. Deal. I guess this gains them 3 as well. The fact that they ripped this Conclave Tribunal to keep me off of other stuff is awkward. Night Stars, thanks for the 14-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Thanks for keeping me employed here. And again, this is the position we saw ourselves at in a game earlier when we were playing this matchup where we're a little bit ahead on board here, but they have the Adanto first for it, which means they get to pull ahead a little bit every turn, guaranteed. And we have, like, lands in our deck and other stuff like that that are not fantastic here. So, like, we're just, like, playing draw pass, and, like, every turn that goes by, my opponent gets a little bit further ahead on board while I'm staying the same, which means I'm slowly falling behind. That's not good enough. If I Curious Obsession my Pteramander and draw a brick, I take 6 down to 5. I think I'm supposed to do this and just try and pull ahead. Just draw like Tempest Djinn or another Pteramander. Entrancing Melody, also excellent. Land, very similar to all the excellent cards I just listed. God, Entrancing Melody would have been the nuts there, huh? I'd have taken their 3/3 lifelinker. I don't know, this might have been a little too aggressive, but I feel like I can't just sit there. Really want Entrancing Melody. Merfolk Trickster is actually a decent draw. We really need a double spell turn. If we're having a single spell turn, it needs to be a really good one like Entrancing Melody. This is a pretty good single spell turn, I guess. Djinn would be excellent here. Another Pteramander would be good. Wizard Retort's not the worst. It insulates us from them having a good top deck. It does, but it also just stops it from attacking. So, like, this'll diddle this, and then they can, like, throw a token away to deal 2 here, which might be worthwhile. No, modern questions are fine while we play standard. I thought I answered your question. I don't really have art preferences. All the magic cards play the same regardless of what they look like. Cannot get that one onto the stack fast enough. Alright, another Merfolk Trickster. Alright. Okay. Our Curious Obsession gamble might be paying off here. really hope they drew a creature so we can get this Essence Capture down. Oh, that's the Stone Cold Nuts. That's the Stone Cold Nuts, chat. That is exactly what I wanted for Christmas. Is exactly what I wanted for Christmas. This matchup is really sweet. Like, we played this 2 or 3 times today so far, and like the back and forth on both sides has been really good every time we've played it. That was awesome. Huh. So, like, it's actually kind of interesting to me. So, like, Mono Blue existed before Allegiance was around, but it wasn't really, like, a tier 1 deck or anything like that. This card really did a huge power level increase to this archetype. Hey, Durls, thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back. Just the fact that, like, again, like, going into playing this deck, like, being on the outside, it feels like Curious Obsession is the best card in this archetype, but it's really Tempest Djinn that's, like, the best card in this deck, it feels like, the more I play it. And Pteramander, in a way, is, like, extra copies of Tempest Djinn. It's, like, another really big flyer that clocks them super quickly. Something I didn't realize until some Arena last night. I was a decent, consistent paper player and always focused on fun before anything else, ultimately because this is a game. I have a positive attitude and assume the best intentions, but always watch for anything shady. That's not a worry in Arena, surely with the occasional salty opponent or Reclamation players. Yeah, not having to exert mental energy, worrying about not even just cheating, but, like, making sure your opponent understands the rules and, like, not having to, like, make sure they follow the rules, but, like, by not make mistakes is, like, really nice. Decks like this, so I know, like, when we play a lot of, like, brews and stuff on the stream, I give my feedback on decks and, like, talk about, like, small changes you can make. When I play an established deck like this, I tend to shy away from doing that because, like, the hour or 2 that we spend playing a deck here is not really enough, by any means, enough to master a given archetype. And when there's an established deck like this that has a lot of really good players who have played it a bunch, I would just say I would recommend deferring to the people who have played a bunch of Mono Blue. I'm sure there's a ton of articles and podcasts and stuff about this deck, and this is, I believe, card for card or, like, 1 card off what Autumn won the Pro Tour with. And I think I would continue to defer to people who have spent more time on it than myself. So I gave quick highlights about cards that seemed important, but as far as changes go, this is the deck list someone else played, and I'd recommend following other people who have done their homework. I'm sorry, Distinction. That sucks. Alright, what are we doing? Alright. Enough of this good deck stuff. Speaking of steaming